Hey friends, it's Nikki with Touch by Time Atelier. I have a beautiful thrift flip for you today. These hearts I found at Goodwill. Look at the dates. They're dated back to 2000, 2001. I primed them with Paint Couture's premium primer in the color gray. I didn't have any white at the time. And then I painted over them with Paint Couture's buttercream chalk paint, and I gave them 2 full coats. Now, I didn't catch the next step on camera, but you can find this beautiful script stamp at Hobby Lobby, and I used the color Stone Gray ink by IOD, and I pressed right onto my hearts. And then you can find these H2O transfers by Redesign. I got these on Etsy, and they're called Nostalgic Blooms, and these are so fitting for these hearts. And if you haven't worked with H2O transfers, they are just so fun and easy. You'll just see how I do it here, but I cut out a few of these designs and I'm going to place them on my hearts before I start transferring them. All you need is a little bit of water and a damp rag, and remove the plastic off the front of the design. So you want the gray facing you facing up. And before you start working with your water, you want to make sure that you know exactly where you want to place your design. And then just spritz some water on whatever substrate you're using. You don't have to soak it, but just make sure that you do put plenty of water, like an even amount, and then set your transfer rate into that water. And you'll notice along the sides it'll start darkening, and you can also spray a little bit of water on top. Now, there's not really any wait time for this. I mean, once it's completely wet, I just let it set for a second. I take my damp rag and kind of pat it to make sure that, there's full contact. And then I just pull back on my sheet and reveal my beautiful transfer. No, I forgot to film this, but after I stamped my hearts, I heat set the ink and then I gave them just a light spray of matte Rust-Oleum sealer. Didn't go heavy on it, just a little bit. I wanted to make sure that my ink wasn't going to smudge before doing this step. Look at how pretty that is. And I just dab off a little bit of the water. And these are just so easy to work with, and they really elevate your project. I'm going to do the same with my larger heart. Isn't that so pretty? It's satisfying too. These little wooden pieces I got from Temu quite a while ago, and I'm going to use 2 of them and some of Waverly's antique wax and a baby wipe and a little bit of water just to spread that wax around and wipe back as much as I can. I want it to look like it's stained. I use my embossing gun to speed up the drying process and use some wood glue in these clamps and set this off to the side for a little bit to dry. And then I took some of Aleene's tacky glue in this little chain bead, and I'm going to wrap that around where the 2 pieces meet to give it that cohesive look. And that Aleene's tacky glue is perfect for this because it dries nice and clear. Then I'm going to glue this right to the center of my large heart and use a little bit of wood glue and a dite of hot glue just to keep it in place until the wood glue dries. And I made sure to sand both of my hearts along the sides. Then I'm going to take some dark oil wax by Sweet Pickens, and I'm going to spread that all around my hearts. And then I'm going to wipe it back with a rag. And that is it for this sweet little Valentine inspired tier tray. You could also style it with maybe some love note affirmation cards, maybe a small little journal. Maybe put some candies in a little dish, or if you're going to add some treats, just make sure you put some parchment paper down first. But that is it. I really hope that you enjoyed this project today. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I always love hearing from you. Until the next one, bye.